Hi, I'm Sally Hayes and I'm here today with Linda, my client, and we're going to actually do eyebrows on her. She already has eyeliner and lips, although she's enhanced it with additional makeup. I've already numbed her and drawn on her eyebrows. She'd like to see just a little bit more of a arch put in her eyebrows. So the white pencil shows exactly where I'm going to be doing the tattooing today. I'm going to just go right over what I've already drawn on. And it's going to look like I'm making them fairly solid, but the end result will be they'll be feathered once they're healed. So they look solid for the first week. Actually, the first 4 days they look pretty solid, and then they start to scale. So I'm going to wipe here so you can see. So these are going to actually lighten up by 50%. The idea is to have them look as natural as possible once they're healed. But she will come back after 3 weeks and do a second application, which will allow her to see if she wants to make them any darker or if she would like to change up the shape. And that way they won't look like they've been stamped on her face. I don't like to see anybody that's had them put on too dark or too structured, because I don't think it's a compliment if you can tell that brows have been tattooed. So the reason that the eyebrows get scaly is because it's skin, and what happens with skin is it gets bleeding, and then the bleeding causes the scabbing, which causes it to slough off in about 4 days. It starts to get that flaking, which you can't pick it or mess with it. And so many people have a habit of wanting to be in magnifying mirrors, and they think, oh, well, I can just, you know, give it a little tug and help it out. Well, you don't want to do that, because it's no different than having a scab on your hand and pulling on it. You pull the pigment out. So you just have to step away from the mirror and leave it alone, which is hard for a lot of people. Hi, we're here today with Linda. I did her eyebrows on 11/29 of November, and she's here to get her second application done today and to see if she wants them any darker. After the first application, they faded now 50%. And I've done the fronts a little bit softer so that there's no line showing where they're starting. And do you like them the way they look now, Linda, or would you like to see them a little darker?
I like them just the way they are.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is just add a little bit more color to set them, and that'll give you the longevity of them.
They're very natural looking.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we want, is so that they don't look like they're tattooed. And I always make the fronts a little bit lighter so that there's not a mark showing where they start or where they end. I like them to fade out. Doesn't take a lot of color here to on the second application. The first time when you do them, you have to put in more color, but when you're doing the retouch on them, it doesn't take as much color, and the healing's a little bit quicker than it is the first time when you do them. You will have to still do the same procedure as far as applying a little bit of Aquaphor to them. And you have a brow. You took really good post-care of them because you don't have any holes in them. And that's the one thing that I always try to stress to people, is not to pick at them when they're healing. And you did a wonderful job because they look perfect. You don't have any bald spots.
I'm thrilled.
I'm glad. I've also done her eyes and her lips, but she does have additional lipstick on over her lip color.
I'm thrilled.
Yeah, they look pretty on you.
They just look
Now they're going to
natural.
lighten up a little bit again,
Okay.
you know, so they will get a little bit lighter than they are now.
I'm absolutely thrilled.
Well, I'm glad. You're great. You're a great model.
The healing process was easy after Sally explained that I needed to not touch them and put the Aquaphor on them and splash a tiny bit of water on them, and that's all I did. And it was easy. It was nothing to it. I really didn't. I loved them even when they were really dark. I was very comfortable with them.
And see, even right now, they don't look too dark, you know.
No, not at all.
The one thing that people, I guess when you say permanent makeup, you think of a tattoo like body art. But the difference between body art and permanent makeup is that the pigments are all blended down for cosmetic purposes, so that over time you do have to touch them up, where body art is primary colors where you don't touch them up. And you don't want your eyebrows to look like a tattoo on your face.
No.
So when you look at it, how long an eyebrow lasts, 1 to 3 years, you need to retouch them. That's a pretty long time for an ancillary service. Because you don't, when you get your nails done, you do that every couple weeks,
Yes,
your
you
hair
do.
every 6 weeks, whatever. So if you can go 1 to 3 years without touching up your eyebrows, you've gone a long time.
Yes, you have. I'm delighted.
Well, I'm glad.
Delighted.
They look pretty on you.